You're listening to The Word on the Streets with Joe Bingham, Jason Tasker, and Raj Pujata.
Yes, welcome back to The Word. What's wrong with that?
Just such a long pause after the clap.
Yeah, because I had to bring the mic back.
Oh, okay. All right, fine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's brought it out to clap.
Okay.
Yes, welcome back to The Word on the Streets. I'm here with Joe.
Hello.
And we're back. I was away last week, but I'm back. We're not back. I'm back. So yeah, man. Safe for tuning in.
Yeah.
Is that what you do? Is that what you say?
No, that's how you say bye. You've just introed it and gone, thanks for watching, basically.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
That's what you said at the start.
I mean, it could be if you want it to be,
Yeah.
if you want to make a catchphrase.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're a team divided. Obviously, we were without Raj last week. Me and Jason were just openly racist for the hour, so...
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you just felt more comfortable.
Without me? Yeah, I don't know where I was. Like, I'm racking my brain. I don't know what I was doing last week, but it must have been at a funeral.
Yeah?
I think so.
I
was.
I think you were. I just didn't mention it last week that you were at a funeral because you
Yeah.
know,
This year's been 4 weddings and a funeral, right?
Yeah.
For me, it's been 1 wedding and 4 funerals. So, yeah, tough, man. But it's is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah. Actually, saying that, I've got a mate back home, and he does listen to this while he's working, so he'll know it's him I'm talking about. He loves a bit of the devil's lettuce, you know what I mean? Getting through the day on the ganja.
Oh, is that called the devil's lettuce?
I mean, it can be if you want it to be.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, but he loves a bit of that, and he was talking to us the other day about the last time he saw one of our mates, and he was like, "Yeah, I think the last time I saw Slev, I think must have been at when was it? Must have been at the wake." My mate was like, "That wasn't a wake. That was his son's christening." I was like, how high do you have to be to go to the celebration of the birth of a child and go,
I don't know. You
I'm
could
so
argue,
sorry for your loss.
You could argue that a baby's christening is the end of a father's life, of a man's life.
It could be.
Yeah.
It's his third kid, so it definitely
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's strapped in for a long
So
time.
it was the wake for his social life.
Essentially. Yeah, because he couldn't make...
Devil's lettuce. He's thinking in the year 3000.
You
mate.
reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd like to think so. Yeah. To be fair, my mate who had the christening, he couldn't make Butlins this weekend, so...
So wait, you went Butlins?
Yeah.
What was in Butlins?
So,
Drum and bass.
Nah, I hadn't seen the lads from back home for a while.
So you went to Butlins
Well,
together?
loads of them had like booked on to go to some like back to the noughties weekender at Butlins, and I was like, they were like, "Oh, do you want to just come along?" I was like, "Yeah, right, safe." So I sent them the money, thinking as well, like obviously my family live like 20 minutes down the road from there now, innit? So I thought I'll go see them as well. 2 birds, 1 stone. Couldn't make the Friday because I had to go home for a gig. Got down there the Saturday afternoon, and it was like...
You driving there?
Nah, I just got a train there. It was like Saving Private Ryan, mate. It's like people had just stormed the beaches of Normandy. It's just casualties everywhere.
So it's like a over 18s weekend, though.
Yeah, it's not like we went down there when it was like family season and went in the water park. It was a proper just a piss up for the weekend.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
So what happens?
Is
Is it like Glastonbury with a cover?
Just everyone gets absolutely hammered and listens to like really cheesy noughties music,
Which Spice Girls.
Yeah, but like it's great for like the first few hours.
Yeah.
But then after a bit, you are like, it
So
is 11 o'clock. Could you just play some decent tunes?
It's like that middle room in Oceana on
a little
crack.
bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on the Friday when I weren't there, they said that Dane Bowers did a DJ set, which they said was decent, to be fair, just loads of garage music. And Liberty X were on.
Oh, yeah. Good old Liberty X.
And
I couldn't name you one of their songs, but I can picture them in the latex.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cover. Yeah.
And then on the Saturday, it was... we saw Gareth Gates singing Spirit in the Sky. You remember the bloke that did the song with the Kumars for Comic Relief because he won Pop
The guy with the
Idol?
stutter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we saw him. And then...
But he didn't win Pop Idol, did he?
He did, yeah. He beat
Young
Will Young. It's just Will Young went on to have a better career, basically.
Okay. He's a banging Jordan for a bit.
Yeah, he was, yeah. And then Blue were on after. Remember Blue, the boy band?
I went to school with one of them, yeah.
Which one?
Anthony.
Oh, Anthony Costa. Yeah. So, I mean, Simon Webb's from Birmingham, so we were like, supportive. But there was only 3 of them. Obviously, Lee Ryan was not there, considering the man's just been like let out on bail after being found guilty of like racially abusing that air hostess.
Is he gay now?
Nah. Lee Ryan, nah, Duncan's the one who's gay.
Oh, right, okay.
But, yeah, so Lee Ryan's not there, and with no hint of irony, at one point, they're on stage, they've done a few tunes, and then they say, oh, obviously, one of our bandmates can't be here with us tonight, so, let's sing this one for him, this is for Lee. And then went straight into sorry seems to be the hardest word. And I was just like, yeah, cool, nice one. And then at the end of their set, Simon Webb just goes, all right, boys, thanks for joining me. Sends Duncan and Anthony off stage, and then he's like, I've been working on a solo album with such and such person, and this is one of my songs off my solo album, and just plays like the deadest dance tune you've ever heard with him singing on his own, like I've got it from here, boys. And it was very weird, and then he left.
So anyone else after that? That's not even the good noughties, man.
Nah, this is the thing. Becky Hill was on after, but we didn't stick around to watch her.
I don't know who that is.
Nah, I don't know any of her songs, but
you want like your Mystique, your...
Yeah, you want the bangers, but I think these people just go all over them, innit? So I think they get what they can get, to be honest. Next year, they've already got posters up for next year, and they were like next year's headliners, and I think it was 5.
That's not bad, yeah.
Scouting for Girls.
Don't know who that is.
Some weird indie band from the noughties. And I can't remember who the other one was.
You booked your ticket?
No.
5 didn't make you get down?
They didn't, no. They didn't. No, maybe Mystique would if they announced them. But yeah, it was very
Mystique
weird
without
vibe.
Alicia is what is just teak.
Yeah.
If you know Hindi, that's a very good joke.
Yeah?
Teak.
Do you want to break it apart for us?
No. It's good though.
Okay.
Shout
I'll
out.
believe you. But yeah, it was weird. And then we went into this club after, which is
in
like
Butlins.
Yeah, it's like next door. And they've got like even the DJ names, like they'll just have like DJ Dave K.
Yeah.
And it's just some local bloke. And there was a guy. So you remember like the kind of music he was playing was like just bad SoundCloud remixes of naughty songs. Do you remember like Capital Remix back in the day? It was that kind of vibe. But he just had this guy MCing over the top of him. But I swear to God, it's because he was like the one mixed race guy within a 50-mile radius of
so
this
he was
town in
actually
Somerset.
there.
Yeah, he's actually on stage MCing.
And did you go with your white friends or your Jamaican friends?
Predominantly the white friends, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the other lads weren't too keen. Oh, there was one. Didn't see many. It's in Somerset, you know what I mean. There was a smattering of minorities kicking about, but also bear in mind that like where the apartments are in Butlins, you get put into like different. They name them like different sections, so you can try and find them afterwards. So there's like Sunflower Place and stuff like that. Ours was called Plantation Key. Like someone signed off on that. Someone went, that'll do. Yeah, we'll have that. Wild. But in fairness, whenever I do go to Somerset, like they do still refer to them as those coloured boys. So it is a mental place to go. Mental. But I think it's just they've never had to integrate in any way. So you're never going to get through to them.
Yeah, I don't think there's many coloured people there.
Not many kicking about.
No, I don't see why either.
Yeah, not many opportunities down there. I think most people just move to Bristol.
Yeah, but also if you're retiring as an ethnic, you probably chase exotic sun.
Yeah.
Rather than relaxing countryside.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't go there for the job opportunities.
Nah.
So I can understand why it's just farmers and old white people.
It's a.
I'd hate to be a kid growing up in Somerset.
Not to be honest, like they do all leave. I think they all just leave for uni if they can, and then never come back. And anyone you speak to down there, so like if you speak to a taxi driver that doesn't have like a Somerset accent, he'll always say the same thing. I'll always be like, "How did you end up down here?" Then and he'll be like, well, 30 years ago, me and my brother, we came down and did a season at Butlins, didn't we? And obviously I just met some bird and that was that. And I'm thinking, well, that didn't need to be that. Like, you could have gone home at any point.
Yeah.
But
Baffles my brain, though. Like, if I'm in Devon or something like that and the cab driver's white, it blows my brain.
they're all white.
Yeah, it throws me. I don't know what to do.
Everything about it's weird. Like,
Do I still do my broken English accent that I do for the ones back home?
you'll just have,
Busy day, boss. Do you
Yeah.
still call them boss? Boss?
nah.
Nah, because that feels racist.
Bosses are very, I think.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I call him boss, like, I feel like I'm working for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if I say it to uncle, like boss, it's like, it's a respect thing.
That's what I think. I think that's how we look at it as well. It's kind of like boss is said as like a term of endearment. But you don't say it to a white guy who owns
No.
a shop, or a white guy who drives a taxi, or a white guy in McDonald's.
Nah.
But it is said in a sense of like, "How you doing, boss?" You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
It's
wouldn't
weird
say
though, isn't it?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it to a white cabbie.
Nah.
I might call him sir if he's really old. Like,
Oh, I
but
thought you just meant regardless, because you're so out of your comfort zone. The panic just sets in.
hello, sir.
How you doing,
Please
sir?
take me to my destination. Yeah, that does throw me off, honestly.
They are everywhere. You only ever see them down in Devon or Somerset or whatever. You'll only ever see like anyone from a different background, and they'll usually be running some sort of shop. So it'll be like, you'll see Indians and they've just opened an Indian restaurant,
Yeah.
and it will be like the only one for miles. So
Yeah.
all of a sudden the community loves them because they're like, these boys are great.
They love them for what they used them for.
They love them for what they bring.
But
yeah.
when they're booking that Indian restaurant and they're saying to their guys, let's go to that Indian restaurant, I reckon the language is probably a little different.
I don't know if I know what you're getting at, but do you think that translates to the restaurants as well? Because are you getting to the point of when what people call Chinese takeaways and what people call corner shops in some part of the country?
Or what they used to call it in London, but I reckon still rife in Somerset.
What did they used to call Indian restaurants down there?
I know what they called the Indian shops.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. I don't think there was anything derogatory about the...
I don't think
Not when we sell the national dish of England.
Exactly. I don't think it extends to the people feeding them. It was quite funny as well. Obviously, I was in Glee on Friday, saw AJ Rose, and he messaged me and he was like, I thought Birmingham had like the best curry houses. I'm in some dead curry house. And I was like, yeah, because you literally stepped out of Glee and took one step left and just went to the first place you could see. I said to him, like, what you've basically done there, without knowing, because you're not from here, you've gone to an Indian restaurant in Chinatown. Like, it's gonna be shit.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I've been to some banging restaurants there. But
Yeah.
I have my go-tos now when I'm on the road. Brighton is Slim's Chicken. Birmingham is I don't tend to eat in Birmingham actually.
You just try and get out. It's a fucking nightmare to get in and out of, to be honest, these days.
Yeah, it's not the worst. It's God, I haven't been there in a little while.
Where's your favourite place to gig in the country?
Probably Brighton. In a full room in Brighton is amazing.
Like that at Comedia?
Yeah. And besides that, I don't think I have a favourite. Manchester's always fun. Like, even my worst gigs have only been at like not comedy clubs. Do you know what I mean? It's like someone trying to put on an event and it's gone wrong. Yeah, Brighton's probably that room full is unreal. Birmingham's probably close second.
Yeah, Birmingham's always fun. Everyone always says they like Birmingham. There was a guy in the main room on Friday, and he was opening as well, and he was like almost like a clown, and he was doing puppets and had loads of props and stuff, and apparently I poked my head in and everyone in the room was just baffled as to quite what they were watching. I think they were a bit like, we just thought we were getting jokes.
Yeah,
and we were
yeah.
watching a man do impressions of puppets. But it is what it is, isn't it? It's all very varied.
20 minutes, isn't it?
Have you had any bedbug infestations at your house yet?
No, have you?
Nah.
Nah.
Apparently they're here though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Brexit didn't mean Brexit. They've come over.
They have. I'm not worried about them.
Why?
Don't know.
I was convinced I was going to get them at Butlins. Like, if I was going to get them anywhere.
Yeah.
Someone said as well that loads of people were complaining on to Butlins on Twitter about various different things over the weekend, but the only thing I found was somebody tweeted Butlins saying, "Hi Butlins, what is looking for your cancellation policy due to family separation?" Butlins were just like, "Oh, I'm really sorry to hear about that. Here's an email address." I was like,
"What's family separation?"
I think they just had a divorce.
Oh right. Oh okay. Right. I sort of knew what that meant, but I thought they separated at Butlins. Like,
I think it could push some people to separation.
Yeah, I've been to Butlins. It's horrible.
Yeah, it's an interesting vibe.
But like those bunk beds that I stayed in, definitely termites and bed bugs in that.
Oh yeah, my mate literally said it. Like after the first night, it was like, I find it harrowing that kids are going to be in these rooms after like what clearly goes on here the rest of the year. Yeah. Bit grim, but
hey ho.
What are you gonna do in it?
Yeah, so bed bugs live in furniture and bedding, and it doesn't have to be a dirty house.
What, are you just getting that in now just in case you get them?
No, I googled it yesterday.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you are slightly concerned.
No, I was trying to write a joke about it.
What did you come up with?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Nothing.
Was this your attempt at like doing topical humour each day? Yeah. There's not much in the news at the minute that you'd want to write too many jokes about. It's
You don't talk about Israel, Palestine?
I just feel like there's no winners, is there?
But I thought this was my perception of what was happening, right? And I know minimal about what's happening, but I've always seen Palestine as the David and Israel as the Goliath, which is why I don't understand how Israel's getting battered right now.
Well, they're not anymore. Is the issue? So
okay.
So you know how it all like came to pass and that, and in a very shortened version is like after
Vibes went to prison and now the Gaza Strip's up for grabs.
Pretty much, yeah. The Gaza General has been locked up for far too long. It's but no, it's like Palestine was like a historical state that is no longer recognised as like a place in a very roundabout way.
Yeah. They've been occupied.
Yeah, because they're like, this is our land because we have a historic claim to it. And then after World War II, there was obviously all like these displaced Jewish people after the Holocaust. And someone just went, oh, well, Israel is, you know, your promised land, according to your beliefs. So let's just send them to Israel. And they sent...
A bit like how Suella's trying to send everyone to Rwanda.
Pretty much, yeah. They were like, you can't stay here, so why not there?
Yeah.
So they went there, but then they obviously set up there and expanded and whatever. But the problem was they expanded into land that the Palestinians were like, what's going on here? Because this is ours, like we've been here. And the occupation went on basically. And then Gaza obviously ended up being like this annexed part of the world where Israel went, it's actually quite dangerous, so we'll put it in there. Egypt, who's the other border, went, we won't fuck all to do here. So they're just stuck there basically. And they've been, I think they've officially been.
Well, the Gaza Strip's the middle ground between both, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's where they fight mainly.
Yeah, it's the most. I think it's one of the most densely populated places on Earth.
And I saw the festival, the Jewish festival, where the Palestine,
the music
Hamas
festival
came in.
Yeah.
On the parachutes. And started attacking everyone.
To me, what I thought was crazy there was that you've got a whole country. Why have you hosted this music festival next to a militarized zone? Felt a bit mad.
Was it close though?
Like right by the Gaza Strip. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
It's
I don't fully understand. I understand why they're fighting. Sorry, I just don't understand. In my head, it's always like Palestine's been getting bullied, and now I'm confused.
I think a lot of people are. Like there was a whole thing about like so many celebrities that posted stuff on social media and then took it down straight away because they were like, we stand with Israel. But then people would be like,
Zinchenko.
yeah, but then people would be like, you were posting Free Palestine stuff a year ago. You clearly just don't understand it.
Signaling.
And I think like for me, I was talking to some people today about it, and like these guys are Muslim, and I was talking to them about it, and I was like, there is no winners. It's essentially trying to pick a side in that is like trying to say like do two wrongs make a right. If you're saying,
why can't that external party just come in and say, like what they did? Because
they have been in the past. Like NATO have been all over it. The problem is NATO are like very much on the side of like we'll back Israel basically, whereas Palestine.
But most people are right. Like US sent their biggest warship to support Israel.
Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of that
I'm sure that didn't happen the other way around.
No, I think a lot of that is to do with like the geopolitics that are attached to it. Of like Israel are part of like bigger political places, whereas Palestine are solely funded by Iran, basically, and like the Western government aren't too arsed about Iran. You know what I mean? They don't exactly see eye to eye. It's like Hamas, who carried out the attack, are seen as they're a recognised terrorist group, but there's millions of people that would call them freedom fighters. Yeah, it's such a complex situation.
But that's where like the media and stuff comes in, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because like if I cast my mind back, the majority of videos that I've seen regarding the conflict have all been Israel soldiers attacking Palestinians. I've never seen it the other way.
Yeah, or seemingly just shooting at civilians off the wall and stuff because they've got too close. But again, I wonder with some of that, it's like because we're only seeing so much of it. I just think whatever way you look at it, it's kind of like if it's two people throwing stones at each other from either side of a wall, and then one day one of them's just gone, actually, you fucking took this too far now. Like Palestine. Hamas sent over like 5,000 rockets in a day.
Where have they got 5,000 rockets from?
Exactly. This is what everyone's asking, isn't it? They're like, so
5,000 rockets.
5,000 rockets in a day, and then Israel just went, "Is that it? All right, cool." Flattened them with airstrikes. So it's like,
so they are fighting back.
Oh yeah, they're at war. Israel have said like, "Yeah, fine, we're at war then."
That's my local area has been quite badly vandalised.
Yeah.
Yeah, I live in a quite Jewish area.
Well, this is the other thing as well, and this is the other spillover, I think, of... There was a lot of stuff... I was on the train back to London, and I was seeing loads of stuff online about, like, pro-Palestine stuff all over London, and people all over the country, all over the world. People flying their flags and celebrating, like, we're getting them back. But the long and short of it is, like, you are celebrating that they've just gone and killed thousands of civilians. Like it's not a great look, however you look at it, to be honest. And
so I do think like writing Free Palestine and stuff, I get what you're saying, but on the other side, there's a lot of people dead.
Yeah, it's kind of like
a lot of people who may not have agreed with what was happening to Palestine.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people who may not have partook. A lot of people who might have been fighting the battle for Palestine silently or online or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think you got to remember that a lot of people still. I think you got to be less brutal with it.
Yeah.
I think sports should stay the fuck out of it. Zinchenko should shut the fuck up. Wembley Stadium thinking about putting the Israel flag on the arch. Don't do it. Just stay the fuck out of it.
Yeah, my thing just with a lot of this stuff as well is like, I think it's because people are so conditioned to just deal in absolutes as well. So it's like they have to see it as like someone's the victim here, whereas the reality of it is like none of them are winning. Like it's awful for all of them. And when you look at it,
tell you who's fucking winning: the guy who made the fucking rockets.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's all these.
They're the ones winning.
All these people that make arms and send them around the world are thriving. But I just think you look at it as well, I've touched on this before when I've spoken to people about it and stuff, and like I genuinely think that like the generation that we're living in at the minute is like people aren't that bothered about equality anymore. I think. Like I genuinely think that it gets spoken about more than ever to have equality and to have acceptance and for everyone to be connected. But I don't think the world has been this divided before in my lifetime.
Do you mean that economically or
just across the board? It's the gaps between the haves and have-nots grow more than ever. But
then there's also the gaps between the right and left. Mm-hmm. It's more prominent than ever now.
Like hate crime. Officially logged hate crimes in the UK have dropped for the first time in 3 years, but specific groups have been targeted more than ever. So like the trans community and the LGBT community, I think like anti-Semitism's on the rise again and all this stuff. It just seems that wherever you look, whether it's online or wherever, people just seem to just fucking be at each other all the time. And I think what it's turned into now isn't so much like a push for equality. It's just like the Pain Olympics, where everyone's just arguing to be like, I'm suffering more than you, so fuck you.
Yeah.
And I think like some of this comes back to like when you look at this conflict and people trying to like pick what side they're gonna be on or whatever. So you don't need to be on one. It's two groups of people that have very famously been oppressed over the years. The Jews haven't had a great time of it. Or the Jewish people, the community, I don't think you're allowed to call them the Jews. The Jewish community ain't had a great time of it. Muslims have been persecuted for fucking hundreds of years. None of them are winning. That doesn't mean that you have to now go, oh, but that's pretty bad, isn't it? And I'm with you. As soon as I look at it and it's kicking off, and then you see Rishi Sunak open his mouth and go, yeah, we stand with Palestine, we stand with Israel, and they have a right to defend themselves. I'm sitting there thinking, this ain't got fuck all to do with us, mate.
The Downing Street's got the flag up.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it thinking, because do you then worry about like potential knock-on effects
for this country?
Yeah,
no.
If you've got the rest of the world then going like, yeah, actually we're backing them, because there's people in groups all over the world that might be like, yeah, fuck that.
I think if you're gonna send people there, it's got to be to squash it. It can't be to add to it. So the US sending a warship, the biggest warship in the world. What?
Yeah. It's basically like, have you seen Snatch?
Yeah.
You know when they turn up to buy the caravan?
Yeah.
And Gorgeous George, the big bare knuckle fighter, gets out. And Tommy goes, and Brad Pitt goes, you don't bring a man that big unless you're trying to send a message. It's basically like the same as sending that warship there. You'd be looking, thinking, cool. What, you just flexing? Like, we ain't doing anything, but look what we could do if we wanted to. Whereas I'm just like, you can't just sit it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you ain't got to get involved in everything. Unless you're going there to squash it. But if you're going there to kill people, you're doing the wrong thing.
Look at like Russia, Ukraine. Like, that is essentially on our doorstep from a geographical perspective.
Yeah.
We've not really done fuck all with that.
Because rockets, you can block a rocket in the sky, right? So someone fires a rocket, you intercept it in the sky. So all you got to do, if you're US, sit back, get your troops out with their shields, protect, and just shoot them down.
With their shields is a good image that you've created there. Like they're in Troy. You know, when the Romans have the shields like a turtle shell.
Yeah.
That's what you're envisaging for the whole area, basically.
Just the immediate
put a
order.
dome round them, like the Simpsons movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be quite nice. But yeah, it's just been a bit bleak, hasn't it, this week? Like, which is probably why, like, when we were on our way in here and we were like, I don't really know what to chat about today, because I've just been reading the news and just been like,
it's all a bit sad, isn't it?
It's a bit dark. I preferred it when it was like XL bullies and fucking.
Yeah, it's all a bit grim right now. But
hey
ho,
and it's getting
I don't know
darker,
enough about it to really discuss it properly.
Neither do I, really.
I just have a naive approach to it, which is, hey man, can't we all be friends?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That is the fundamentals of it, basically.
Yeah, it's all interesting.
But I think
Did you see that? Go on, sorry.
I was only yeah. We should change the subject. It's quite bleak. But I was only going to say, like, when you say I've got quite a naive view on it, I find it interesting because I think that is most people's like perception of that situation.
Yeah.
And the only reason that I know anything about it is, like we've spoken about before, I just like history. So I'm just kind of like, oh, I know how it got to that point. I don't have an ongoing interest in it enough to see it and think, I'm going to pass comment on that.
Also, it's the people sharing it.
Yeah.
It's like, I know that person on my Instagram is pro. Like, I've got a perfect mix on my Instagram. It's like, one is Palestine, one is Israel. And it's like, I'm seeing both sides of it. And I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
But fundamentally, it's... I know my opinion on everything. I won't say it, obviously. But, like, or maybe I will. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I would probably just give Palestine their land. Just take your more thriving country, take the L.
Yeah. It's tricky though.
Imagine being like, all right, if you have this, no more of my people will die, and we'll be okay. Okay, so it's a slither of land.
It's tricky though. It's tricky though in that respect as well, because both religions feel that they have a claim to that land, because you've got to think, when you look at like most religious,
they don't want the whole thing though, do they?
Nah, but they've just annexed the parts basically. There's the West Bank, which is also annexed, and then Gaza, which is fully politically annexed. But most religious history stems from the Middle East.
Yeah.
So it's like when you're looking and you go in, so Judaism feels that they have a genuine claim to this land because it was the promised land that they were led to when Moses freed them, basically.
Do you know what the mad thing is, though? Sorry, one sec. Is they weren't there.
Yeah.
So they went there because someone told them to go there.
Yeah, they were.
And the truth of the matter is, if they went to their promised land, people might have lived there happily ever after together.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were told, this is your land, it became a thing.
Yeah.
And so again, it comes back to the white man.
Well, this is exactly the point I was going to get to there, where someone was being like, you look at like the Crusades and stuff like that with the Catholic Church. It's like, ironically, within the West Bank is Jerusalem.
Mm.
So then Christianity is also like, we're kind of attached to that as well, because that's where Jesus was born. Yeah. You're like, what? White Jesus. That's where white Jesus was born. It's all mad. And like, this is why, like, when you look back at, like, you ever read that book? It's like the history, it's like the history of war, and it basically talks about like in all these like years from like really like what they call recent history, not ancient history and stuff. They're like, there's only been like a few hundred years where there's not been a war going on somewhere in the world, and the vast majority of it has had some sort of religious front to it before it basically became big business and assets and stuff like that. So yeah, it is. I'm with you. It's kind of like there must be some sort of compromise that can be made.
Oh, 100%.
But I think it just reaches.
I think it's too far gone.
Yeah, it reaches a point where it's gone too far, and people are just like, "Nah, fuck yous. We're not doing it."
It's one or the other now.
It's a bit shit, isn't it?
But it like flares up and then goes, flares up and goes.
Yeah, it has been.
That's why I don't understand what sparks it.
Yeah.
I mean, someone just woke up on the wrong side of the bed, gathered the troops, and went, "Fuck it, let's go."
Well, apparently it was the day after the 10th anniversary of the last large attack from Hamas, and also the day after the end of a Jewish holiday, I think. So they're saying like there's various reasons why. The really interesting thing actually, which is getting into like Joe Rogan conspiracy territory, is that nobody can get their head around how Israel didn't see it coming, because they're basically saying like the borders are some of like the most militarized borders in the world.
Yeah. And you can't like.
Yeah,
I've been told about this.
Yeah, it's like there's literally like motion detecting cameras all along it, and there's constantly armed patrols and stuff like that. And there's certain points of that border where Hamas just cut holes through the fence and just walked through. And the other thing they're saying as well is like the Israeli, I think the head of the Israeli intelligence basically said this will be investigated as like the single biggest leak that's happened, like from an intelligence perspective, because they're basically saying like we've got the Israeli military, Mossad, who's like their secret service, Israeli intelligence. They openly admit, because like all countries do, like we have spies all over the world, and no one caught wind of anything,
Unless-
and no, or if somebody did get tipped off that something might happen, like no one acted on it. That's the interesting thing of kind of like, even like Israel with it happening right now, are looking, being like, someone's shit the bed here. Like, what has happened?
Unless it's all a setup.
Unless it's all orchestrated.
Yeah. To then officially slay Palestine.
That is kicking about on the internet a bit, yeah.
You go in, be the victim, get the support of the US, get the support of Rishi Sunak, rally all the troops, and you take the whole of Palestine.
Yeah, it's basically what...
and you sacrificed your people for it.
Yeah, it's basically what White Barry did in Four Lions, isn't it? When he said, should bomb the mosque, start the uprising. It's apparently what 9/11 was. People who say it was an inside job, they say the same thing.
Interesting. Yeah, you're right, though. They have some of the maddest motion detectors, and I've seen that. I knew that. Yeah, you're right. It's a setup.
Yeah. But it has just been bleak. Everything I've seen lately just appears to be governments just pissing their people off, basically.
Yeah.
Like Rishi
But
Sunak.
stop attacking Golders Green restaurants, because the one you hit, I really like that spot, man.
It is sad, man. Like, there's people around the world now who've got fuck all to do with it, and like they're walking to work thinking, someone could just fucking dash
You
them
don't
at
know what
me or
that feels
jump
like,
me
do
or
you?
whatever. Of course I don't.
Yeah, when you see me when we was in LA getting pulled apart in security, you was like, I'll never know what that feels like.
Yeah. Literally, when that man
When
was
he
like,
had a finger in my ass,
Yeah.
you were like, bet that feels nice.
Yeah, literally, when that man was grilling you both in and out of LAX, I was just like, yeah, this is long.
Yeah.
Long. Even like passport control when we first got into New York.
Yeah.
And my man's just like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
He didn't even look at me.
And
I was just like...
You had a whole nice friendly conversation about
Yeah.
what you do for a living, and me, I was like, all right,
what are you doing here? How long are you going to be here for? Where are you going? It's wild, isn't it?
Mad. But it is what it is, eh? Right, on the subject of morbidness, I got a would you rather for you, man.
Okay, all right.
It's kind of morbid, though.
That's all right, that's fine.
All right.
We're in that space today.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Right. Would you rather have a loved one that you've lost back for one day?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyone you want for one day. Or would you rather have a baby that's born stillborn, live, but they only live to 18? But they have a pain-free life, but they only live to 18.
I would choose the first option for two reasons.
Oh, you didn't even think about it.
No. Because the first reason is the second option. The stillborn baby comes back to life to live a pain-free life until they're 18. That baby is pain-free anyway. They were stillborn.
Sorry, only you know they were stillborn. That the parent, they didn't stillborn and come back to life, but there's a stillborn baby that will live.
So would you rather have an old loved one back for a day, or get to have a kid for 18 years?
Not your kid, someone else.
Oh,
yeah,
someone else's
kid. Yeah, it's not your kid, but another family gets their baby that they made for 9 months.
Okay, then the second option, then yeah. Because to me, I was like, if I was in both of those situations, then I'd take the first option. For me, though, I've been, again, another way, I've been fortunate in the sense of, like, I haven't lost many people.
Yeah, I was actually going to start by asking you if you've lost anyone. I thought, maybe not ask you that.
Nah, there's been people in that, innit? But, like, I've not had, like, family or, like, really close friends or whatever that have been, like,
anyone that
really tragic by it. My granddad would be like a really interesting person to bring back for a day.
Yeah, that's what I thought you might go.
Yeah,
with.
because obviously I've told you about, like, when you get older and you learn more stuff about him and that, and like the stuff that he did in the war, and then the stuff that he did afterwards with, like, the government and the council and with like intelligence agencies and stuff. Like that man's life was mad.
Yeah.
And it would be interesting. He'd probably be tired by the end of it if I'm like, I've got 24 hours and try to grill him on all of it.
But he also realises he's only got one day with you, so
yeah,
his energy might be up.
he might just want to go to a pub though, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you can go with him.
Yeah, but he's probably the one where I'd be
He
like...
might want to fuck some bitches.
Yeah, he might do. He might want to go link Margaret again, you know them ones. But, yeah, I think he'd be the one where I'd be like, yeah, bring him back. Interesting guy. And, like... Because I was 11 when he died, so it's like I always knew he was interesting as a kid, but like I didn't have enough of a appreciation for it.
I think you was also too young to
Yeah.
actually not look at him and be scared a little bit from the stories. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
And
you're probably a bit coddled. Is that the word?
Yeah,
from
I just
it?
thought he was like the coolest guy in it because it was every pub we went into, everyone knew him.
Oh yeah, he was like James Bond kind of,
Yeah.
wasn't he? He was just a retired James Bond, wasn't he?
Like
So,
everyone in the community knew him. Never saw him have to pay for anything because everything was just taken care of for him and stuff like that. So I'd walk around with him like royalty.
yeah.
Like, but yeah, now that I'm older, I am like, yeah, especially like my mum don't really. I think my mum's quite naive to it in some respects because it's just her dad.
Yeah.
But like, even like my stepdad in like the years that he knew him, he's like, mate, he was a mad interesting geezer, and all
So
my
you
uncles
would-
say the same.
You would take away a child from a family.
Nah, but now that I know that it's someone else's family,
Yeah.
I'm more inclined to say, even though I only got my childhood with him, and even though it'd be nice for my mum to go, even though that might fuck you up a bit, to go, he's back for a day, by the way.
No, only you meet him.
Oh,
Yeah.
then I'd be like, it'd be interesting, but I can find out more stuff about him through other people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a bit fuckery to... It feels very selfish to...
But that family's going to lose that child at 18 though, right?
Yeah, so then that brings you to the question of, is it better to have
know
had
someone
18 years, a great 18 years with a kid, and then lose them?
or never know.
Well, it's
them
better
at all.
to... Well, I don't think it even comes down to that. Is it better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all? Because I imagine if you have the tragedy of like a miscarriage or a stillborn baby or something, you still love that kid.
Oh yeah.
You loved
And stillborn, you have a funeral, so
Mhm.
it's like baby casket. And
Yeah.
it's real sad. But 18 is just as tragic.
yeah.
The beginning of life
Potentially,
as well.
potentially more so because you've actually had 18 years to grow attached to them and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But I tell you what, whenever you've seen documentaries and that where like people have like died young or whatever, the families always say the same thing, innit? They're always like, it's awful, but they always talk about how incredible they were and all that kind of stuff. So it's probably better to have had that. It's still going to be tragic either way.
Yeah. And it's pain free. Like they're not ill or anything.
Mm.
So they would just 18.
Yeah. Do you think?
It's a toughie, that one, I thought.
Yeah.
Thought of it on the toilet this morning.
Oh, lovely. Did you
Yeah.
put it on the gram?
Nah.
No.
Today's question on the gram was,
Way more light-hearted than that by any chance.
well, it's Tuesday and I don't like to do the crazy ones too early. Today's one was, would you rather give up using any kind of phone for life or have every moment of your life live streamed?
Hmm.
You on the shitter is streamed. You banging is streamed.
Yeah.
You arguing with your mum is streamed. You breaking up with a girl is streamed. You ghosting a girl is streamed.
I think to be honest, I've got very used to like being like off social media a lot more.
Yeah, but you use your phone for more than social media.
Yeah, but it was fun when we were kids, innit? And you had to just turn up at your mate's house and be like, "Is he?" It'd be less fun now if you had to drive an hour and they weren't there. But
Yeah,
I think-
but
I
how
think-
you driving?
I don't need a phone to drive a car
How you getting a car?
with a bank card
Yeah, from where?
from the bank.
Okay. So where you finding the car?
I'll go to a car showroom.
Okay.
Or I'll go on the computer and go on Auto Trader.
Oh yeah, I suppose you could use a computer.
This is the thing, like, if you're looking at a phone as a phone, if you just binned off your phone, you can... There's certain thing. I'm not going to go on a technicality and go, yeah, I'll scrap my phone and just carry an iPad around with me, because that's cheating.
I think that's what a lot of my peoples do.
Yeah.
They think they're smarter than me. That's the problem.
Yeah, but that's cheating.
That is cheating, and then they DM me and I break their fucking hearts. Stop trying to find loopholes in my shit.
But yeah,
honestly,
having your whole life live streamed. I was talking to a friend about this the other day. Like, you know, like the YouTubers that are huge now because they started when it was like in its infancy. My friend was like, if you dig deep into it, there must be something not quite right in a lot of these people's heads to have the propensity to want to vlog their whole life, to have that mentality of, I'm gonna go and do this mundane thing today, but I'll take a GoPro and I'll vlog it for people to watch.
Yeah, that's those guys, I suppose. Yeah, but like KSI was just playing something he loved and letting people watch it.
Yeah, like a lot of it is just they were just creating their content and people latched onto it. But I think, yeah, the people who, when you're talking about your whole life being live streamed, to me, that's somebody who like vlogs their life.
I'm talking Truman Show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting to watch though, isn't it? Big Brother's back.
Big Brother is back.
It's
I nearly went on Big Brother a couple of years ago.
Yeah. It's basically the same thing, isn't it? Getting your life live streamed on Big Brother.
But you forget it's live streamed. And then you can't have a little bitch and gossip about anyone because they'll be watching.
You can racially abuse Shilpa Shetty and still die a hero.
That's true.
That's white privilege right there.
Nah, she did have cancer.
Yeah.
Cancer actually trumps racism. Did you know that?
It turns out, yeah, because she did
That's
not
why
come
all
out
the
of it
EDO shaved their head off to balancing it
the
out.
rebrand.
Yeah. Balancing it out, yeah.
It is, yeah. Do you reckon you'd do well on Big Brother?
No.
I think I'd lose my mind.
Yeah. I think I'd be... I don't like the challenges. The challenges scare me. Like, what if I can't do something no one can eat? I'm like...
Nah, the challenges, you'd be, I reckon, you'd be begging for a challenge after a few days because you'd be so bored.
No, but I mean, like, you know when you got, like, stuff that has physical activity and I'm like, let's be honest, I'm not going to be able to climb this monkey frame.
Yeah, but I just...
Do you know what I mean?
What's the alternative is...
Starve.
No.
But I fast, so I could do it, but I feel bad for everyone else.
But like, the alternative is just sitting in the garden while your brain just melts. Like, I do think... Because I've thought about it before, like, would it just be a laugh? I think the idea of it's a lot better than actually doing it. Because think about it as well.
I wouldn't do it.
You're in there, no TV, no music, no book to read, nothing. You're just in there. You have to talk to these people. That's all you've got.
Yeah.
Basically, you'd be out of your mind. And I think that's why it was so interesting when it first came out, because everything got heightened. One little disagreement between two people, all of a sudden, is the end of the world.
And that's why the first one was great. But everyone had seen the first one and knew how to act in the second.
I saw something quite interesting the other day.
But where is Craig? Craig, you out there?
Yeah, Craig was a star for a bit, innit?
Yeah.
And Nasty Nick and all that. But like, I saw something the other day which made me think. I thought it was quite interesting. So there's a trans woman in this. This is brilliant, actually. So they obviously put all these videos on Facebook and Twitter and TikTok and whatever of all the contestants like doing their intro video, and you've got like a gay guy from the suburbs, a trans woman, a Muslim woman from Wolverhampton, like a black inner city mom, all these different people, and people on the internet are going, fucking hell, they took ticking the diversity box a bit far, didn't they? And I'm like, that's the point. But that's the point of Big Brother, to get someone of all different places and chuck them in there. Like, how boring would that show be if it was just 12 blokes called Dave who just sat in there and talked about football? So that pissed me off. I was like, what did you want the show to be? But also, I think the trans woman was getting like a fair bit of shit online. And somebody made a point where they were like, 20 years ago, we voted for Nadia, a trans woman, to win Big Brother.
Yeah.
how have we gone so backwards in the last 20 years? That when she was on it, everyone went, "Oh, she's actually fucking lovely, man. Like, why is everyone?" But whereas now people are like fucking slagging them off on the internet and.
Well, I think the internet was a lot quieter then. I think people might have been a bit more vocal.
And if I do remember, and I don't know if you remember this, when Nadia was in there, people would sneak onto the Endemol lot to shout over the wall, "Nadia's a tranny," and people in there would be like, "What are they talking about?" Because it was she hadn't told anyone.
Yeah, she hadn't told anyone. Yeah, I remember.
So it was still out there.
But that's why maybe as well that they voted for her, because she was under. Do you remember there's something about Miriam?
Yep.
What a mad show, bro.
Yep. I was talking about this to someone a few months ago. Because do you also remember Playing It Straight?
No.
Yeah.
But something about Miriam was nuts, bro.
Yeah. The funniest thing about something about Miriam was the reveal at the end.
So if you don't know what that is yet, it was 12 or 14 guys fighting for this one girl's love.
It was like The Bachelor, innit?
Yeah, which is the secret being she was post-op,
Pre-op trans.
trans.
Or post-op, sorry, but trans.
And no one knew. So they'd be in there for months trying to date this girl, get kicked out, and then find out that the winner finds out that
in front of everyone,
she used to be a man. In front of everyone, and they've like lipsed her. It's a very unethical show.
Miriam killed herself.
Shut up.
Yeah. Like, not long after that show. Like, I think after that show, her life... I'm sure there's, like, a Vice documentary about it or something. Like, her life wasn't great after that show. Like, she got into, like, all sorts of different work that didn't really stick, and apparently she was, like, really taken advantage of by, like, various people in the industry and that. And I'm fairly sure she killed herself at the end of it all.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, mad.
Because Playing It Straight... I just vividly remember that show from when I was a teenager. It was on Channel 4. And then during the first lockdown, one of my mates had never seen it, and I was like, "Oh, this is like English TV heritage." And I'm watching it back, I was like, this is actually wild. So that was basically, again, there's a woman, and they're on this ranch in Spain, and they get like these 14 men to be like the cowboys in the ranch, and they've got to make this woman pick them at the end of it all. The twist is half of them are straight and half of them are gay. But she doesn't know. No one knows.
But she knows that half are gay and half are straight. But she doesn't know which is which.
Yeah, and none of them do. The blokes, like, they keep it a secret as well. So the whole experiment is like, will she... So it was they'd have all the phrases like, you know, how good is her gaydar and stuff like that. And some of the tests they'd do, like she'd ask them like if their fingernails were dirty, and the theory was if they checked their fingernails like that, they were straight. If they checked them like that, they were gay. Dumb shit like that. And it goes all the way. She's eliminating people for various reasons.
What if they fall in love with each other?
Maybe they don't know. Maybe they do. So it's hard to say really. But the whole thing comes down to, at the end of it, it comes down to some bloke who like was a wannabe noughties David Beckham model type bloke, and this fucking East End bricky, just a bloke who works on the building sites in the East End, and she picks him, and he goes, "I'm actually gay." And she's heartbroken. He gets to keep all the money. That's the thing. If she picks right, they split it. If she picks a gay guy, he keeps all the money. And it's really sad. Like, I remember it being a funny show, which it still was.
Yeah.
But I don't remember the really sad ending, which is literally her, like, devastated. And then him being really upset that she's devastated. And he basically goes, and he's like, I don't want the money. You can have all of it. The only reason I came on this show was to prove to people that we're not all the camp little fairies that you think we are.
Yeah.
And he was like, and I've done that. I've proved it. I just came here to show people this is also what gay people can be like. We can be a bloke who puts scaffolding up and then likes having pints and watching the football after. And I was watching it and I was like, it's actually quite bleak now that I've watched it again. And that was like 2003, 2004.
Mad. Builders can get railed.
Yeah.
is what we learned.
And good for
from
them.
that show. Yeah.
One of the blokes in the Village People was a builder. So
And he got around.
yeah, 100%. Gay icon. Yeah.
Did you watch the David Beckham?
I haven't watched it yet. I've heard it's alright though.
We'll talk about it next week then.
Is it decent?
It's a good watch, man. Finished
Yeah.
it in one day, so it's a good watch. Yeah. Very
Is it?
nostalgic.
Yeah. The only thing I saw on Twitter was loads of people saying my favourite thing about the Beckham documentary is that Gary Neville still refuses to just accept that he was class at football. Apparently he's all like very humble about his ability and that.
But they never actually admit on the documentary whether David Beckham cheated or not.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, they just
They skeet on past it.
they just allude to the fact that it was a very difficult period.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Was that when he went? That was when he moved to America, wasn't it? And that was his PA.
No, it was Spain.
Or was it
wasn't
Spain?
Spain, yeah, because he was all alone in Spain.
Yeah.
But America, Victoria was gassed to go America.
Remember Sven Goran Eriksson, the absolute pants man, when he was like shagging Ulrika Johnson while he was with the Italian bird.
Yeah.
And then who was the Italian woman he was with? And he used to let her pick the team and stuff for England. Do you remember all of that?
Nah.
He used to let her pick the team.
I can't
and,
remember. I picture her face. I can see the Sun headline right now. But
like she'd just like get a vibe and be like,
yeah.
I think he's really
that's
good
how
and
Darius
should play.
Vassell ended up
Probably,
in the team.
yeah. She's like, I just like the way he wears that kit, and he went, go on then.
Good old Darius, mate.
There's you remember old fucking you'll remember old Diddy Hammond.
Yeah.
So he's got a fucking brilliant story that he tells in his autobiography about when he was coaching at Man City, and Sven was like the manager at the time, and they went on a pre-season tour to Thailand, and they're in this 5-star resort. It's like sunrise, and Sven sees him and he just goes, "Come outside with me, Diddy." And they go out and sit on these sun loungers watching the sunrise, and Sven just cracks this bottle of champagne. And Diddy goes, "What are we celebrating, Sven?" He goes, "Diddy, my friend, we're celebrating life." And just pours it champagne. And he's like, he got sacked that season, but that man was just vibes on vibes, mate.
Fair play. Capello's in the documentary. That's quite an interesting.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Because he had a fallout with Bex at England. Then he came in at Real Madrid. Mm-hmm. So it's an interesting documentary.
Yeah, I forgot about it, to be honest. I'll make it like my train.
Yeah, I've been watching Lupin. Just started that.
Have you only just started it?
Yeah.
As in series 1?
Yeah. But
it's the best thing you're ever going to watch.
I'm on season 3.
I've just started season 3.
I'm starting it tonight. Yeah, I started it 2 days ago.
Is he not the coolest geezer you've ever seen?
Yeah,
Hassan Diop.
Yeah, he's French Luther, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
That's who he reminds me of.
Yeah.
And I could easily picture Idris Elba doing that role.
Yeah, I think that show's fucking
it's
next
smart.
level.
I really wonder if that book's real. Is it? Yeah?
Yeah, or it's at least based on like an actual French.
I want to say it how they say it. Do you watch it in French or English?
In French, yeah.
Do you watch it in French?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I always watch foreign shows in their language.
I try to, but because I watch it in bed.
Lupin.
Marcel
Lupin.
I like that name.
Yeah, it's sick. That Omar Sy is just a sick geezer. The guy who plays it. He did like a GQ cover last year when like Lupin was fucking huge.
I can't believe I just started it. I think I didn't watch it because it was French.
Yeah, there's a lot of shows. I still haven't watched Money Heist because it's in Spanish.
I got bored of Money Heist, I'll be honest.
Yeah, everyone told me it was sick, but I've not watched that.
It's like Prison Break. Watch it for 3 seasons and call it a day.
Yeah.
I don't know how many seasons there are, but watch 2 if there's 3 because the last one's shit.
Yeah. Prison Break series 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Series 1, best TV I can remember. But yeah, it went down. I ended up watching part of season 4 of Prison Break.
Oh, it's probably on season 17 now. We don't even know. Yeah. But yeah, Lupin is sick.
Yeah.
Right. I can't believe I blitzed it in 2 days as well.
Yeah. We'll report back on it next week, I suppose. Because I'll have finished it by then.
Yeah,
I'm watching episode 3 at the minute. So
episode 3. You're just ahead of me. I'm on episode 1 or 2.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry it's been so depressing today, but I checked the news. It's been dark as fuck. And we don't, we don't know enough about any of it to actually.
We're tired as well.
Yeah, it's also been
My dad called me yesterday. I got to bed at 9. My dad called me at 11, and I answered. I woke up and answered, and he went, "Never mind," and hung up. I didn't sleep till 5 a.m. after that.
Fuck's sake.
So you know why I'm caught up on Lupin.
Isn't it? It's worth not sleeping.
But listen, thanks for tuning in again. I said that at the start. I say it at the end. Like, follow, subscribe, share, all of that good stuff. We're going to drop some clips very, very soon. I've been lazy, my bad. But yeah, thank you. Peace.
Bye.
This has been the Word on the Streets. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.